This information is disturbing but true. Many missiles were used during the time of the Tonga volcano explosion, and a great cover-up is underway. The real truth is about to be exposed, so be prepared for all of this. There are many points of interest, and there are many more than just these that I am pointing out. I am doing my best to try to bring your attention aware to what appears to be different forms of missiles of different types. Who knows the exact make and model of these missiles, but nonetheless, the Tonga volcano explosion was not a natural disaster. It was caused by some type of a missile, and throughout this, I will show you many different things you need to take high notice of, because there was way more than just one. If I'm off about one or two of these, bear with me. There was a lot I had to point out. Again, they did a very good job attempting to cover it up, choosing the time of day that they did, the location that they did, and they fired many. Towards the end of this, you will see how I point out many different locations from where most of these were launched. But do you see these? You see how they're coming down? At this point, to avoid a lot of talking, I'm going to highlight a bunch of different locations. I want you to pay close attention to these spots and many more, because again, I was not able to point out everything. As it begins to unfold, you will start to see more and more as I show you different areas and locations where this was done. Still at this point, I am unaware why we are not taking the proper notice of this for what it truly was. I'm not sure why nobody is acting upon this. This is an act of world terror. This is not just a missile test. They did numerous of these missiles. I mean, come on. The amount of devastation that was caused by the nearby surrounding areas because of this explosion, how can you not acknowledge it for what it is? Watch. All the information is here. So at this time, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to go ahead and play some music. So if you don't want to hear the music, go ahead and mute it. Because there are many locations. Because the real truth is that they were hiding all the facts and pieces of information. So now I tell you, open up your eyes, wake up to see what is really going on. Some may not ever realize, but I really hope the people of great importance that are high up are able to bring the proper attention and awareness to other individuals. If our army and other armies are not aware of this, they need to be aware of it worldwide, everywhere, because this was an act of world terror. I don't care who you are. This was intentionally done at this exact location and time. Again, continue to watch. The information only continues to expose everything for what it is. Let me add before I start the music, it will be my intentions to send a copy of this to many news stations everywhere. I will be trying to blow up this information, so I hope by the time that this gets out, that others of you also help bring the appropriate attention to this that needs to be done. This was not a natural disaster. This was an act of world terror. This was not a missile demonstration. It was not a test and all this other stuff. Seriously, this was an act of world terror. And again, I need everyone to help pull together and bring people in on this for them to have access to the appropriate information. I don't know what else to really say. Seriously, people need to wake up. This was huge, and they attempted to cover it up so well. Do not let these people who attempted to do this act of world terror get away with this. This is just it's just outright wrong. I don't care who you are. This was going too far, and they need to be held accountable. Whoever they are need to be taking some type of seriously, people, come on, wake up, see all this for what it is. I mean, this is huge. Look at this. Even within the volcano itself, they even set additional ones off on top of it. These shapes and formations are not even natural for what it would look like. And I'm trying to expose it to you. So help me expose it to everyone else, to get everyone to see this for what it was. It's wrong for meteorologists to sit there and try to say that these weather phenomenons is what kind of occurred. No, those were explosions, additional missiles that were sent off that caused all these phenomenons and anomalies. And there's so much going on. I don't want to sit here and beat this to death, but I think I probably should. That's why this is not a short video. I cover many things. I try to point out many different things for you to notice because, again, they chose the perfect time to attempt to do this in the location. They used all the surrounding things for their benefit to try to hide and cover up this for what it was. Now, everyone, get together. This is it. Buckle up. This is happening. This is real. Again, I tell you, I will be sending a copy of this out to everybody I can. I am going to make myself sore trying to bring the appropriate attention to this to the appropriate people who might actually have the balls to cover this for what it is. This is not something that we need to hush about. I don't care who you are or where you are from. This right here is huge, and we need to acknowledge it for the truth of what it was. Take this information, look at it again, and also consider when I was looking through satellite images, some of these right before a certain part was actually intentionally no image found on the satellite images. That says right there that there's something going on. People who have access to those particular satellites might need to be questioned about why at that particular time was that the case, because it's part of the additional cover-up that's going on. So again, I urge you all to wake up and see the truth. I knew stuff like this was going to happen. I knew this was going to occur, but to be very forward, it was during other researches and investigation things that I started to notice this. I found something within question, and then I found something else, and the pieces just continued to fall, and it just started to explode just like all of this did. So help me help this explode and get the appropriate people to be aware of this for what it is. Seriously, come on. Let's rally together because this is an act of world terror. Don't you understand? Whoever did this, and I do believe I know who it is, but I'm not going to call names at this point. I'm going to allow the appropriate authorities to pinpoint because there's no way they could have stayed and covered the entire time. And if you trace everything back from the locations of where I showed you certain things were shot off, you will be able to find who was hiding underneath the clouds at these times, as well as who attempted to say that they wanted to do some testing on this particular day during this particular period. And with that, you're going to be able to find that they're going to only give you a fraction of the information and not tell you all of it for what it is. But I hope this helps you bring the appropriate awareness for the fullness of what it is. So with that in mind, I am zipping it because I am just too blown away at of the entire situation. So here we go. Enjoy. And remember, there are different segments, different areas, different views, different perspectives that I have done. So I know this is long, but stick with it because I'm telling you, in the end, I really point out a lot of where they were coming from. And as everything began to unfold, it just continued to show more and more and more. So bear with me because there is a lot I'm trying to point out. So with this in mind, enjoy. Here I decided to use an embossed imaging, and with this you could also still see where it came down and hit right before the explosion of the volcano, trying to use many different images to get a better look. See, right in this general location, splash, see it right there? This is the original black and white image. Okay, let's go ahead and look at a wider view of this area. This particular location over here had some really interesting things coming out of it. So as we take a closer look, you can see what it is that I saw. Right in here, you can see that there is about to be at least two clear different launches coming out from this area, both of them going in a different direction. Not clear exactly where their destination was for their designated area, but you can see in this area there is more than one extending out. Okay, same view, looking at a different area, because over in this spot there is a lot to see, and in different angles on different satellites you see different things. But here, I am about to highlight and point out another point of high interest right before the explosion. Down in this area, you can see what appears to be another extension coming out from the clouds. This right here is not in the direction of the volcano, but in the direction of other explosions that I show in a little bit. Right here are showing you two different locations that are shooting. Again, enjoy the music while you watch these interesting finds that show there is more going on, and they are attempting to cover it up, and so far, to my knowledge, they are getting away with it. They should not be getting away with this. This is an act of world terror. Don't you understand? Everybody everywhere needs to be aware that this happened. These were not natural disasters. These were not natural phenomenons. Take a good look. Boom. Then it starts. And then there's even more. They even hit on top of the clouds. See that indentation there? That's because another one was sent in, possibly even more than one. Who knows the exact amount that they sent into that general location? Because satellite images, you can only see so much. But isn't that interesting? The way it dimples in on itself as if an intentional external explosion was put on top of it. They were attempting to get a lot of information from different locations, different launches. Not everything was focused at the volcano. Many different spots were going on. This was used to be the biggest distraction, and they attempted to use the nightfall that was creeping in as coverage, as well as clouds that they hid all their stuff under. If you really pay attention, you can see that there is much more to this story. See, right here alone, there are a few things going on. You just got to be looking for it. And don't be distracted by the other one that looks clear, that doesn't even come close to it, because that was not the one that actually triggered it. That's something else that they also did. I thought this right here is pretty cool, because as the ripple effect went off from the shock wave from the explosion of the volcano, It actually helped show other areas where they were using. As the shockwave moves across, it shows where, thanks to this beautiful volcano, helped show where there were other explosions due to their missiles that they were using during this entire procedure that they were doing. Again, I tell you, pay close attention as the shockwave moves across. It also points out other areas of high interest, again, where other explosions were done from things that they were shooting off. I will do my best to try to bring your attention to some of these locations. There's a lot of them, so bear with me. It's really hard to point them all out because they shot off many different things in different areas. They took total advantage of this entire situation, and they literally went crazy shooting these off all over the place. It is hard for me to point them all out. I wish you guys could see it. How can anyone still deny this for what it is? An act of world terror. These were not natural, normal phenomenons. These were man-made explosions that helped trigger all these different things that happened. They did a really good job attempting to cover up everything, using the clouds, the time of the day. Many different missiles were fired from so many different locations, but I've been looking and I've been watching, and I knew that there was more to all of this, and there is more to it. I don't know what else I can do or say to try to get you guys to see it, but look, all of these things. I mean, seriously, if people were actually as smart as they attempt to claim they are, then how can you not see this for what it is? This is like, it's ridiculous that nobody else is talking about this for the truth of what it is. Again, one piece of the puzzle to another piece of the puzzle continued to lead me down all of this, to all this information. All these things that are going on. Look, can't you see the actual explosions that were going off? This wasn't the only one. This wasn't the only thing. There were so many that was occurring. Seriously, people. People really need to wake up to this for what it was, an act of terror against the world. Who did it? Why did they do it? Needs to be known everywhere. This should not be hidden. And yet many of you people out there are being deceived by the situation for what it is. I am doing my best to bring you the appropriate awareness of this because nobody is talking about this. This shockwave moved across the whole world, was felt so many different locations. This is not something to take lightly. This was terror. This is war. This is an act of war. This is an act of war against the whole world. This affected so many innocent people. And all of this is not being properly covered. Look right here. See how they intentionally made this one image at this time and date not accessible. I went back before it and right after it. They were trying to cover up the exact location of different things. But that little bloop did not hide it all because I seen it and I'm pointing it out, and somebody else out there needs to get on this and see this for what it is. Somebody out there that has more than what I have, because I am doing all of this on a cell phone, trying to show you guys everything I can, trying to point out what I can. All I have is a cell phone, and this is what I found. Now imagine the people with the appropriate equipment should have been able to detect this and still should be able to get the information that they need to help identify who actually did this, the true reason. And just so you are aware, yes, there were many ships, submarines, who knows, everything that was out there. But they did send off quite a few different explosions. These were not natural phenomenons. These were done to help try to cover up. And them doing so many was try to help them, which it didn't help them because I seen it. And if I had better stuff, I bet you I could find even more. I bet you I could even get a hold of the appropriate satellite with the right equipment and to be able to backtrack and to tell you who exactly did this. So therefore, the appropriate authorities should be able to tell you what is going on, or somebody out there like one of you guys have the appropriate equipment that can help put all this to rest for what it is, an act of terror against the entire world. Now, I'm telling you again, somebody out there needs to help push this information. Don't let me be standing alone when it is so clear and obvious when you look at all the fine details for everything for what it is, because this is real, people. This is serious. This is not a joke. This is not a drill. This is the times of what we are living in, and these are the things that are occurring and going on, and so many people are actually ignorant, no offense, because they are truly not that intelligent. I might not be that well spoken in some of my words and my vocabulary, but that don't change the fact that there are many ships out here and they're all shooting off stuff. And I'm going to point out some of these ships right in this location that did this, because you need to pay attention right there. Several coming off in that general location right there. And over here, there's a few coming off from over here. And there's some coming from over here. And there's some coming from over here. And it just continues. There's a whole fleet out here, people. And this fleet is what is doing this. They are preparing for war. These test so-called strikes that they were doing intentionally set off a huge natural disaster to top it off. I mean, come on now, people. Wake up. See, there's another one right there. There's some more hiding over there. There's some more hiding over here. And I seen them, and I'm pointing them out, and with the right stuff, you guys got to see it. They were trying to hide, and they were firing, and there were so many that they were firing, and it's why some of you are actually tricked and deceived, because you can't see it, because there's too much to look at. Well, for me, it's not too much to look at, because one piece led me to another piece, that led me to another piece, that led me to another piece, and it just continued, because it's all there. Get a hold of the actual satellite footage yourself and see it. This is not doctored. This is not false. This is not fake. This is real. This is really going on. This is really happening. And oh my God, people, come on, get with it. Seriously, get the appropriate people on this so everything that needs to get done can get done, because you better be aware right now that this means war. This is war against the entire world. Whoever did this had no regard for anybody that would have been affected by this, because they were not concerned about that. They were testing to see what would happen, and with this becomes very dangerous information. This right here just lets you all know how far they're willing to go to do what it is that they are out to do, and that is to control, to put fear upon you, to try to hide, lie, and deceive many others. But it's all here. Again, somebody with better equipment better do something about this, because I am doing what I can from a phone. I am a homeless widow doing what I can do with all that I can. And they almost got away with it. But I seen it, and there's so much more that I can't even point everything out. And again, I'm doing this all by a phone, trying my best. So you guys, please get together, rally, and bring the right attention to this that needs to be done. Wake up, seriously. This was not natural. Not all of it, and it technically wasn't. Take a look, seriously. Now.